If it don't work for your household, guess what? Don't use it. But I always tell people to test. That's the only way you're gonna find out if what they saying is true or not. But some people are so narrow minded, they don't want to hear anything that's gonna put them on a different path because I was raised like this. That don't necessarily mean your parents raised you right.
You what they say? What's the saying? You eat the meat and you spit out the bones or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that say the Bible is the right book, and then there's those people that say the Bible isn't the right book. But I guarantee those people that say the Bible isn't the right book can read certain scriptures and apply it to their life and actually be successful in whatever they're trying to accomplish. It's all
Yeah.
about it's all about what you can take from it. You just take what you can from it and you move on. And it's the same way you do when you talk to people.
First time, then that's it. You got to quit, right? So I don't think there's such thing as the wrong book, the wrong person, the wrong piece of information. It's all a part of the journey.
Are
I
you
think
speaking from
I
experience? No, I was
Let's
asking
take a picture of us, Bruiser. Yeah, I'm saying you take a picture of us.
I'm sorry.
No, my bad, man. I was holding my phone up. I couldn't reach it from where I was at. So I had a glass right here, so I didn't want to knock it over. My bad.
I'm sorry.
Kind of suspect. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mommy 3.
I was just asking where you speaking from experience, because I you talked about failure a lot. Like, was it something that you did and you failed and it kind of discouraged you?
For myself?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I don't think I've ever really had a fear of failure for myself. But I've been in several leadership positions where I've watched the way that it's stopped people. It's gotten in the way of their progress, whether they're entrepreneurs, whether they're in the corporate lifestyle, that like that fear of failure becomes one of those things that becomes debilitating. And we were talking about it earlier, right? Like that comfort zone. I'm more comfortable doing it this way because it'll give me success. But if I do it this way and I fail, then I don't have success, right? And it's people's mentality towards that, instead of saying like, well, what has this failure taught me? How can I grow from this? What opportunities does this failure open up? I think a lot of people lack that critical thinking, and I think fear is a big motivating factor behind it.
In regards to what you were saying earlier, and as regarding the, like, reading the right book, and not really, I didn't really mean to find the right book to read. I just like, be careful what you're reading, because not all literature is concise, because somebody else is writing it and another person probably edited it, but it doesn't mean that whatever it's on in the book you have to follow, or just like have your own discernment. Like, just because someone else believes something, you have to follow, like, question everything. I think you should question everything and find your own answers, and then make, you know what I mean, have that critical analyst skills. But at the end of the day, yeah, just, I think picking the right book for me was good. Like, it was successful for me, because I remember reading something and I'm like, it doesn't seem right. But because people say whatever is in the book, like, read a book and get over it. Like, find your solution in a book. You can't always find it there.
Yeah, that's true. Like those manifestation books, some of those books are not good books. You can manifest some wrong things in life, and you be like, man, I read that book, and it's some of those books are, kind of witchy to me. A lot of those books can bring in dark energy. A lot of things you can read can really bring a lot of dark energy. You might think it's something positive, but it can lead to other things.
What kind of book is that?
So I hear you, Mommy 3. And that was my experience when I read, like, The Secret, for example. It felt very culty. It felt very, like, it didn't sit well with me. However, I read the book anyways. I finished it to completion. And with the critical thinking, decided there are certain parts of that book that just don't align with who I am. And there are parts of it that I found were beneficial, right? Just because, like, there are parts of it that don't work doesn't mean that we can't extract the parts of it that do, right? And for me, that's why there's no such thing as the perfect book or the right book.
Look,
because you can always get something out of it, right?
Look, if you reading books, how to master the Ouija board and shit, like, you gonna get what you deserve. When I say read books, I mean books related to what you're trying to accomplish. So like if I want to be like a content creator, I'm gonna read a book like Tube Ritual or YouTube fans or followers or something like that, and how to better optimize my content for the subscribers or something like that. I think y'all going way too far with this reading. And listen, a lot of
Well,
people
I
say
didn't really
a
mean
No,
lot
like
of
we
I
people
didn't
know
say
really
what
the
you
mean
meant.
Bible.
that
A lot of
aspect.
people
You
say the
didn't read
Bible
Rich
is
Dad
One at a
Poor
time.
Dad.
One at a time.
Let's put Rich Dad Poor Dad into account, right? What was said in there, the author, a lot of people like debunked him. A lot of people who are for investors, Bitcoin investors, they debunked him. It's like whatever some of the things that he says in there are not
Yeah.
it's not right, and
So
it's not a good
yeah.
advice. But then he's leading people the wrong way. But you can't
Yeah, but
blindly.
there's some content in there that you can. I think it's like you what they say. What's the saying? You eat the meat and you spit out the bones or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that say the Bible is the right book, and then there's those people that say the Bible isn't the right book. But I guarantee those people that say the Bible isn't the right book can read certain scriptures and apply it to their life and actually be successful in whatever they're trying to accomplish. It's all about it's all about what you can take from it. You just take what you can from it and you move on. And it's the same way you do when you talk to people. When you go and have a conversation with people, 90% of the stuff that they're talking about could be good for you, but 10% of it could be toxic. You just gotta learn how to just ignore that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what Nas was saying. And even when you think about the panels, right? Like people are so quick to say who's right, who's wrong, and they be real passionate about it. I just like, look, just take what you need. If it don't apply to you, if you don't need it, then just ignore that. But it's a lot of valuable things that are being said as well. Take what you need from it and apply. If it don't work for your household, guess what? Don't use it. But I always tell people to test. That's the only way you're gonna find out if what they saying is true or not. But some people are so narrow-minded, they don't want to hear anything that's gonna put them on a different path because I was raised like this. That don't necessarily mean your parents raised you right. It don't necessarily mean my shit fucking keep
Well,
freezing.
the reason why I kind of like say like be careful what you follow is because we're in a follow society right now. Like it's a follow culture, right? And a lot of people have there's like an influencer, right? So you choose what you find in your feed, and a lot of things you're choosing. You have to be choosy and have like have a certain type of standard of what you read and what you consume and what you expose again expose yourself to, right? Because you can't expose yourself to everything and anything, and then your brain just records these things, and subconsciously you're going to kind of show whatever you read or whatever it is that you put in your body, because that's what it is. We're going to spit out what we put on our body, right? So and then I mean that's what I mean, just filter certain things out, right?